Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this weekend gone, this Saturday night gone, we had the Log Lift Championships and the Strongman Open. And of course, Bibby smashed the record as I thought he would. And looking at it, he smashed it with 231 kilograms, which is 508 pounds. And looking at him, he had at least another 10 kilograms in him. He was not joking when he said that he can push a 240 kilo log. I think given the opportunity, he'd probably go back this week and hit a 240 kilo log. BB likes to do what he wants. And he's right. And just looking at that, 508 pounds. I think there's only 3 people ever that have hit a 500 pound log, which would be Luke Stoltman has hit it, and Big Z obviously has hit it, and obviously Bibby has hit a 500 pound log. So it's such a big thing if you can hit a 500 pound log. I think we'll never have any more than 5 or 6 guys in that category ever, I don't think. Also, a guy that could come into that group of guys is Andre Fotu, who pushed an easy 210 kilograms and just missed out on a 220 kilogram log, which is such good pressing and he's still such a young guy. He's only 22 years of age. And see a 22-year-old, I mean, when I was 22, I was shoving marbles up my nose. This man at 22 years of age is smashing log records. He now has the junior log record at 210 kilograms. So it's just crazy. I think in possibly another 12 months, he could hit a 220, and maybe within the next 2 years, he could have a crack at that world record. Obviously, if Bibby stays pressing logs, that record will be a lot hard to deal with, because I think Bibby has the ability to push a 240, 245 log if he keeps continue on that path. And can we just say the size of Bibby Saturday night? Jesus, the man is enormous. He's so big. And to believe that Bibby still thinks he's 170 kilos, Bibby, you're not fooling no one. So yeah, it was brilliant night of pressing. Hooper as well on 210 kilos, pressed out a 210 kilo log. I mean, if we look at some of the best pressers in the world, let's just name a few. Luke Stoltman, Big Z, Bibby, Graham Hicks, Eddie Hall. They're all big barrel chest guys, big thick arms, big strong triceps, big massive forearms, just huge guys. And then you see a guy like Hooper come on, and like Hooper's not a big guy. No, he's big in terms of when you compare him to normal humans, but when you put him into the lineup of Strongman, he's not a big guy. I think he's in around the 140, 145 kilos. He doesn't have big arms, he doesn't have the big barrel chest, and he pops up 200 logs, 210 logs like they're nothing. It's such a strange human to... Hooper is such a strange human. That's the end of that sentence. And then, like, down on top of that, right, he misaligned with the 210 kilo log. It went out in front of him a bit too much, and he lost control of 210 kilograms. He managed to pull that 210 back into line, finished the pressing, and waited for the down signal, and then dropped it, which that just takes so much strength to do that. I mean, if you're playing around with a log at home, lose control on purpose with a 70 kilo log, and watch how hard it is to get back in press. It's crazy to be able to do that. So well done to all the guys. Baby winning, obviously. Hooper and Andre with a 210. And obviously Andre just missing out on the 220 log. It was such a good night of pressing. And obviously, just to talk about something that happens to me, and it happened to Luke Richardson as well. Luke on his 170, the first log was 170, lost balance in the 185 until he got the finger out, and then launched the 185 and made it an easy press. And unfortunately just missed out in the 200 log, but he went after Nathan Goldtree. Unfortunately, Nathan got a serious injury. When I was watching it initially, I thought Nathan just picked up I thought Nathan slipped and just took a 200 kilo log to the chest and was just winded and just decided not to compete outside of that. I didn't think the injury was as bad as it is. Unfortunately, Nathan picked up a serious injury where he tore both patellas. Down on top of that, he took 200 kilo log to the chest. And it's the exact same injury as JF Caron picked up a few years ago on the same thing on a log press. And it's a pity. It's such a horrible injury, and I hate seeing athletes getting injured, because it's not as if athletes are competing for millions of pounds or dollars or whatever. We're getting paid, when you compare it to other sports, we're getting paid pennies, but we pick up some of the worst injuries you can pick up in sport. And Nathan unfortunately picked up one of the worst ones you can pick up, which is doing both patellas. And it's such a long road to recovery. And I do wish him a speedy recovery. I hope you're back to training soon, because you were having such a good night. He made such easy work at the 170, made easy work at 185, and he looked like he was going to make easy work at the 200 log. And he's a strong guy. I met him at World's Strongest Man this year. He would have done great overall. And just to see this happening is really sad. It's just sad. I hate seeing it. But obviously Luke came after Nathan, and after seeing that, it can throw you off a bit. Seeing that happen can throw you off. And Luke unfortunately missed the 200. And it's like that, he can't catch his balance. It's me, when I'm at the log lift championships a couple of times, I can never balance myself out in that arena. I keep losing control, and I've missed the 170 a couple of times at the World Log Lift Championships, but I've pressed 185 every time I've attempted it in the gym. When I got to that arena, I'm not sure if it's the open space or the lights or whatever. I just can't balance myself. I always lose balance with the log. So yeah, there we go. There's log press championships. I was really good, other than Nathan unfortunately getting injured. Then we move on to the other rest of the events, which we had arm over arm, which Luke won. I'm not surprised there, because that is a Luke event to win. He's fast. He's so fast. He's a good grip, and he's moving like a guy that's 120, 130, and Luke is like 150, 155 kilograms. Then we had the deadlift. It was 350 kilograms for reps on the big domes. Hooper won the event. I think this would have been the nervous one for Luke, as he got injured on a rep event deadlift. And just to see him go out there and smash it and get 5 reps, and it was good points in the night. Also, can I just say, Luke, I have got 6 reps in that equipment, so I win. So yeah, fair play to Luke on smashing that event. And like, the main thing for me was Luke getting through this whole competition without getting injured, and that's what happened. And on top of that, he ended up in the podium, which is brilliant to see. Then we had throwing. We had Maxine, I think, won the throwing event. And it's so strange to see Maxine winning these events, because he's possibly, if you were to look at throwing technically, he's technically one of the worst throwers there is. But on paper, he's the best thrower there is. Because like, when you're showing someone how to throw, like, ideally you'd let the bag go at the last minute, just so it has that extra bit of height. But if you watch Maxine throwing, he kind of lets the bag go around chest level, and there's so much power gathered behind it at that stage that the bag just launches. It's so incredible to see him smash and throw in events like this. But fair play to him, because like, he's not as genetically gifted as the other throwers who he beats consistently, like the likes of Tom Stoltman, the taller guys. So yeah, it's so cool to see someone like that winning the throw event. And then we finished up with the power stairs, which he also won, which is also a tall man's event, and he smashed that as well. I think inside Maxine there's a 7-foot man, because he keeps smashing these events that are more suited to taller people. So fair play to Maxine. And the podium on the night, Maxine ended up in second place. He just pipped Luke Richardson. Obviously, of course, Hooper won it. I think Hooper is after exceeding the Hooper we saw at World's Strongest Man this year even, and it's not even that long ago. He just gets better and better and better, and even at events that you don't typically think he's going to do well in, like the throw. I didn't expect him to do so well in the throwing, and he smashed it. Same thing with the log. You'd think he'd press the 200 log and then just exit there, and he went down and pressed 210. He just keeps getting better and better and better. The deadlifting, he won it with ease on the 8th rep. He only had to do 8 to win. He held the 8th rep, spoke to the ref, is that enough, and then put it down. It's just crazy to watch. So yeah, on the podium we had Hooper first and Maxine second, and then we had Luke Richardson in third. Luke made a big mistake with the throwing. Throwing is a really good Luke event. I think before this, I would have said Luke would have won the throwing event because he's so good in training. Now, something that Luke does in training is, and I spoke to him about this, so he loved this, is he throws 4 bags in training, and in competition there's 6 bags to throw. I think if you want to be good at the thing that's happening in competition, train it the way it is in competition. And I was saying this before, and I was like, you should get 6 bags. He's like, oh, no, 4 is okay. Well, who was right? And it just looked like he gassed out on the 6 bag. Other than that, I think he would have, well, there's no thinking, he would have come second place, behind Hooper, and it just shows you how strong Luke is. And like, I don't think Luke is back to full power yet. I think he's like 70-80%. So when we see him back to 100%, it's going to be really exciting, and I hope just he can keep this run of where he doesn't get injured. And he has a really good plan in place now where he works up to, he doesn't train kind of beyond 70 or 80% in training, and just, you can see it worked for him. It worked for him in deadlift, where he just didn't train deadlift like he typically would, like a strongman typically does. He kept it light, he kept it beltless, suitless, and put on the suit for his last training session and went out and smashed it. So it's such a thing to come back from all those injuries and go out and smash it. So fair play to Luke. So yeah, there we have it, guys. That is the log lift championships and the Strongman Open. It was a good night overall. So thank you all, and I will see you later.